Hello, and thank you for joining us today for the vision presentation on the second day of open enrollment. My name is Jose Rodriguez, and I am part of your benefits team. Before we begin, and I introduce our presenter, I would like to go over a few housekeeping rules and the presentation format. If you called in using the conference ID option, we would like to ask you to mute your device if you haven't done so already. Our live event is scheduled for an hour. The first half will consist of the vendor presentation and then followed by the Q&A session. If you have any questions, please submit them using the Q&A section on Teams. For individuals who called in, your questions will be taken at the end after we finish with the written questions. Now, let's begin our live event. Today's presenter is Jackie Madrid, and she is our Avesis Key Account Manager. Jackie?
Okay, here we go. Well, thank you very much for having me join you today. I'm Jackie Madrid. I'm your dedicated account manager at Avesis. And so my goal today is to go over the benefits with you in an effort to help you minimize your out-of-pocket costs. It is best as a consumer to shop around, as prices vary between independent providers and retail. I feel you could get more bang for your buck when you shop around and find where you can get the best value. As you know or may not know, July 1st is when your benefit resets. So what does that mean for you? That means that on July 1, you're eligible for new benefits. In light of the COVID crisis, some providers caused their doors to shut down. So many of you have not been able to use your benefit. So you have now until June 30th to use your benefit before your benefit resets all over again. So regardless of your last date of service, your benefit will reset on July 1st, okay? So let's go over your benefits. You have one routine eye exam that is covered after a $10 copay that you need to satisfy. And then you have a second copay that you would need to satisfy, which is $10. Your frame allowance is $35 wholesale, which equates up to $100 retail. This is when you really want to shop around and see where you can get or find a frame that not only suits your needs, but can get the best price. Right now is a great time because it's summer and most of our providers have cleaned their shelves and they're getting ready for their new summer stock. So you will see that there's going to have sale prices, clearance. A lot of stores are going to be offering buy one, get one. So that's the best time to get in there and shop around to see where you can get the best frame at the best price. Okay, your standard lenses are covered in full after your $10 copay, and that is just your standard lens. Okay, and so one of the additional features that you get with your benefit is your polycarbonate lenses, which I totally recommend. It's a much sturdier lens that has a built-in scratch coating. And most providers will recommend that you do go with a polycarbonate lens, but that is now covered in full. Additional pricing options for you, which will help save money out of pocket: standard scratch coating, ultraviolet screening, gradient tint, anti-reflective coating. These are all fixed copays that you will pay out of pocket. Okay, this will help you save money. And then going down the page here, in lieu of frame and lenses, you can also go with contact lenses, which is 110 allowance. Okay. Medically necessary contacts are covered in full. That's once a prior authorization has been obtained by your provider. Okay. And then refractive laser surgery is basically LASIK surgery. So down at the bottom here, I'm going to scroll down a bit. LASIK provider, that company is called QualSight. We've partnered up with them, and they have an umbrella of LASIK providers that will offer you as an Avesis member a discount up to 25%. So if you were to have LASIK surgery, by going through QualSight and letting them coordinate the surgery for you, not only do you get up to 25% discount on the surgery itself, you can submit a claim form and we'll reimburse you $600. Okay. Now, the emphasis here is to stay in network, so I highly recommend that you visit our website to find a provider that's in our network if you don't already have an established provider. If you do go out of network, then we do have out-of-network reimbursements here, which you can find here in the far right corner as I'm scrolling down. Okay. Now I know I went a little fast. There are no changes. Everything is staying the same. And I will open this up for any questions.
Hello, Jackie, it's Jose.
Yes.
We're unable to see your screen, but I'll share mine with the Avesis flyer, okay?
Okay, there you go.
So there we go.
Well, I am truly sorry. I don't know what is going on here. Looks like we have some questions here. Oh, there it is.
Since we have a little bit of time, Jackie, is there any like general questions that you received that you might want to go over just so we have something on the recording?
Yeah, I haven't received any specific questions for this account, but I just want to reiterate. So it's your benefit includes either glasses or contact lenses. Your benefit reset date is July 1. At which, so any time from July 1st of 2019 through June 30th, you are able to use your benefits, and the benefit again will reset on July 1st, regardless of last date of service. You have two $10 copays that you have to satisfy. One is for your eye exam, and one is for the materials. Okay. I have a question. So the question I just received on the frame benefit, $35 allowance on frames up to 100. Yes, that is correct. Let me type that out. So yes, your frame allowance is $35, and that equates up to $100 value. And so what that means is that our providers buy their frames at wholesale cost. So depending on the type of frame that you select, if it's a designer frame, chances are the wholesale cost that the provider paid was much higher, maybe at $50, $75, especially when you get into like designer frames like Coach, Michael Kors, then chances are you will be paying a little bit more out of pocket. But most of our providers under our contract will have a selection of frames to choose from that are within that $100 value. This is why I totally recommend that you do shop around to see where you can get the best, more bang for your buck, and get and possibly purchase a frame without having to pay anything out of pocket.
There is a question that says, what about digital progressive lenses?
Okay, great question. So if you scroll down under the preferred pricing options, under progressive level 1 and progressive level 2, it will depend on your prescription strength and the name brand that your provider is recommending. Basically, I would go with request pushback if they're trying to, if your provider is recommending a progressive lens that may fall under category level 2, you can still get the same quality lens under progressive level 1. It's just the name brand that differentiates the cost there.
Thank you, Jackie. We have another question. It says, if we choose frames over $100, then is the allowance less than $35?
I don't understand. Can you repeat that question again, Jose, please?
Okay, it says, if we choose frames over $100, then is the allowance less than $35?
It will depend. It will depend on the type of frame you selected. So it just depends on the cost of the frame. So let me see how to best describe this. If let's say you picked a frame that was Coach, and the frame, the retail cost was $150. The most you should pay out of pocket for that frame would be $25. So it could be less than 35, yes, and for that scenario. It just depends on the frame and the frame you pick and the retail cost. So my recommendation would be is to pick pick 2, 3, 4 different frames that you like. Have the provider do the math for you. They want your business, and they'll tell you exactly what your out-of-pocket cost will be on that particular frame that you're wanting to buy.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yep. Under preferred pricing options, it's important to take this benefit summary with you, because this will give you a guide of how much your out-of-pocket cost is going to be if you add any, if you're wanting to add any lens options to your total frame package.
Since we also have retirees on our vision plan, is there something you would like to say to our retirees that maybe are joining us today?
Sure. So welcome. If for any new retirees, we welcome you. And so your benefits start right away. The benefits are the same benefit packages that you received as an active employee. So there are no changes. We do bill direct you, so you would receive an invoice directly from Avesis. That would be the only difference for the plan, is that we would invoice you direct. But as far as the benefits that you will receive are the same as when you were an active employee or member.
Okay, thank you. We did get a question that says, is VisionWorks in our network?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And yes, we will post the flyer on the chat. It is also on our website. We'll get that posted right now. We have another question that says, does Costco accept our benefit plan?
Yes, Costco is now a full service provider. However, Costco has decided to subcontract their optometrists. They no longer staff optometrists in their optical department. So Costco used to be a one-stop shop for us. So if you intend on having an eye exam done at Costco, I highly recommend that you ask the provider before your appointment to see if they're contracted directly with Avesis. If not, what will happen if you would like to continue your eye exam there, you will be required to pay for the eye exam, and then you can submit a claim form for reimbursement on the eye exam only. But then when you walk over and choose your glasses and order your lenses, Costco will submit the claim on your behalf. But we're doing everything in our power to get all those providers contracted as soon as Costco has been working with us to provide us a list of providers that they're subcontracting with so that we can independently go after them with a new contract so that it's inconvenient, so that it's not an inconvenience for the member. But that was a great question.
Thank you, Jackie. We have a few more.
Sure.
We have one from Judy, and her question is, if I get my once yearly eye exam, and in addition, I get a glaucoma screening that was requested by my doctor, what would I have to pay or what would be covered?
Right, so your plan only covers for one routine eye exam in a 12-month period. If your provider is recommending a follow-up or a glaucoma test, that is when you would use your medical benefit for your follow-up. Unfortunately, your plan does not cover a follow-up visit, even when medically necessary.
We have another question. It says, are contact lens exams also covered?
Correct. So the contact lens exam is the same as your vision examination, but as soon as you notify the provider that you're intending on wearing contact lenses, then what they will do is perform a contact lens fitting. Okay, that contact lens fitting then is now is now flagged as a contact lens benefit, which would be deducted from your contact lens benefit. It's not a separate exam. So be very careful when you go in. If you're a regular eyeglass wearer and you're thinking about wearing contact lenses, I would be very careful, because what happens is the provider, as soon as you let the provider know that you're considering contact lenses and they perform a contact lens fitting, it's going to flag you for the contact lens benefit, even though you don't submit for contact lenses. When you then go in and shop for glasses, it may be rejected because the provider submitted a claim for a contact lens fitting. Do you need me to repeat that? I may have rambled on that one. So the contact lens exam is not a separate exam. It's part of the vision examination. If you indicate that you're considering wearing contact lenses, the provider can then perform a contact lens fitting, which would then be tagged as a contact lens benefit.
Thank you, Jackie. And with that said, we have another question that says, the $110 is for contact lenses and the contact lens exam?
Contact lens fitting. The contact lens benefit includes your fitting fee and the materials. When you the eye exam encompasses whether you're going to be an exam. The eye exam is to get a prescription either for eyeglasses or contact lenses.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yes.
And we do have another question. It says, do you recommend going through your insurance to get an initial exam first and then finding an Avesis provider once they recommend frames and/or contacts?
Jose, do you mind repeating the question, please?
Yes, okay. It says, do you recommend going through your insurance to get an initial eye exam first and then finding an Avesis provider once they recommend frames or contacts?
Jose, when they say your insurance, are they referring to medical? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Um, no, I mean, most of our, 100% of our contracted providers perform eye exams and also sell materials. But I recommend, though, this is where I recommend you shop around. Even if you say, let's say you go to an independent provider for your eye exam, and they have a case or a display of frames to choose from, but they're a little bit pricey. It's okay to tell your provider that you're going to wait a later time and come back, because you want the opportunity to maybe go to VisionWorks or Nationwide or a Target optical center, or even Costco for that matter, and price out the frames there. I personally use a retail provider because of my own prescription. I feel like I get more value, more benefit by using a retail provider, but that's my personal need. So, but no, you don't need to go through your medical carrier first. You can use an Avesis contracted provider to get your eye exam. Take a look what they have as far as materials, and then make that choice if you want to, the prices meet your needs, or step out and visit another optical center to find a frame that might fit your pocket needs.
Thank you, Jackie. We have a follow-up question from Judy. She was our employee that had the question regarding the once yearly exam, and then in addition to her glaucoma screening.
Yes.
So her follow-up question is, so we only get one paid eye exam per year. I thought we used to get 2 visits per year.
No, no, it's only one routine eye exam every 12 months starting July 1st. And that benefit has been the same, at least for the last 7 years that I've been with Avesis. You may want to check with your medical carriers. A lot of the medical plans these days have a built-in discount vision benefit, and that may be where you can get your second eye exam, at either no cost or a minimal co-payment. But definitely check with your medical carrier to see if they have a discount vision benefit that's built into that. But I would use your Avesis benefit as for your initial visit, and then if you need a second eye exam, then you would use either that discount plan if it applies, and or use your medical insurance for that.
Okay, there was another question which I took off your hands, Jackie. It said, to confirm, the policy period is July 1st through June 30th, which is correct.
Correct. Yes, yes. And that means, and just to reiterate, that means that everybody's benefit resets starting on day 1, July 1st, regardless of last date of service. So so if I go into a provider's office on June 15th, because I haven't been able to get in to see my provider because their office was closed, I can go in, get my eye exam, order a new pair of glasses, and then on July 1st, I can walk right back into the provider's office and order a second pair of glasses, say prescription sunglasses, or maybe get contact lenses this time around if you're aware of both. But it's a great benefit, because your benefit restarts again on July 1, and you don't have to wait till your last date of, a year from your last date of service.
Thank you, Jackie. There is another question. It's a little bit long. Could you take a look at it? It's in the Q&A section.
Sure. Okay, I see where, okay. So the question is, just clarification on the contact lens fitting and eye exam. So prices vary with, at providers' offices. What I would do is first call around and ask what your fitting fee what the fitting fee cost is for contact lenses. I know Walmart's fitting fees are $35. VisionWorks, Nationwide, Target, their fitting fees are about $40. So if your benefit is $110, and let's say the fitting fee is $25, that would be deducted from your 110 allowance, which would only leave you at $85 to apply towards your materials. When you go in for your eye exam, your vision examination, you would pay a $10 copay. The provider is going to do the eye exam, regardless if you wear glasses or contact lenses. But the provider is going to ask you, are you going to wear glasses or contacts? Once you say that you're going to wear contact lenses, then they have to perform a fitting fee for the contact lenses. That's an extra charge. That's an extra service, if you will. So, so if they're fitting to fit you for contact lenses, if their fitting fee is $25, for example, that would be deducted from your contact lens benefit of $110 and would leave you a remaining $85 to apply towards your benefit. See, under the benefit summary there, it says, I find that independent providers charge a little bit more for fitting fees. You know, where maybe I saw a claim recently where the fitting fee was $75. So you paid, the member paid their $10 copay for their eye exam. The fitting fee was $75. And if your benefit is only $110, that only leaves you $35 to apply towards your contact lens materials. And you would then be required to pay money out of pocket to at least buy you a 6-month supply or a year supply. And I'm happy to, and Jose, you can share my email address and send anyone my way, and I'm happy to handle those calls directly if that would help.
Sure. Yes, if we have any questions, if you could email the benefits office, it's benefitquestions@tucsonaz.gov. And if we can't answer them, we'll definitely forward them your way.
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, for those of you that are still on, yes, this presentation is recorded and we will post it later on our website. And we're also going to post it on Microsoft Stream, which is a Teams app as well, for you to view later and rewatch it whenever you'd like. Okay, Jackie, well, we'll give it a couple more minutes, but it looks like we're not getting any more questions. I think we are going to go ahead and end our live event today. Thank you, Jackie, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And like I mentioned, if anybody has any questions, give us a call or send us an email at benefitquestions@tucsonaz.gov or our phone number, 791-4597. And thank you, Jackie. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.